Romantic love will be the last illusion of the old order.
Have you known Count Vronsky long?
He's a rich, good-looking cavalry officer.
Dance with me.
I must warn you about something.
Warn me.
You may, by indiscretion, give the world occasion to talk about you.
Anna Karenina.
God damn, man. You just can't do it, can you?
Say it for me, then.
Anna Karenina.
Thank you.
It's okay with you. I'm just going to call her Anna.
Hey, Kay, what's up?
Yeah,
Karenina is not that hard to pronounce. Never mind. I give up.
Let's try it again. I'm going to do this for a change so that people won't think I'm so ignorant.
All right, try
Let's do it. Anna, say it with me.
Anna
Karenina. See, now you got to slow down.
Karenina. God damn it.
Okay, let's just
Anna Karenina.
I'll just call her Anna slutty ass bitch. Let's get her on. Get on with this review.
She is, boy.
Yeah, I know. It's more like Anna Karenina.
Oh.
Did someone say this was supposed to be like a great love story? I'm sorry. Shouldn't a love story involve where you want the characters to like get together?
See, Cyrus, you're right about that. You read about this and they say this is a story of passion, lovers. And I'm thinking,
This is the best story of selfish dicks.
Yeah, this is.
Well, the whole part of the book was to point out was how, like, yes, the men, they have lovers on the side and everyone just smiles and turns away. But here she does it and Russian society beats her down. This is the oppression of women. And I go like, well, yeah, but she's a total bitch about it.
Well, see, I thought this book was written by a guy who was done fucking wrong by some woman, and he's like, that fucking cunt. I'm gonna write the worst fucking story. I'm gonna call it a love story, convince people to read this shit, and then then I'm gonna bamboozle everyone into this is what happens to fucking sluts who fuck me over.
The thing is, though, is that slut isn't a woman. It's his government that pissed him off because this is Leo Tolstoy.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm mad, and all these people represent much bigger things, and I'm like,
and I'm going to write this novel in 9 parts, maybe 10 or 12. I don't know.
Well, you know, it's funny. Like the other main character in this, other than the big romance going on between Keira Knightley and Aaron Taylor Johnson,
Kick-Ass. Just call him Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, yeah, Count Kick-Ass, is this guy, this ginger dude who's like worried about like maybe I shouldn't be hanging out with them city folk. Maybe I should just hang out in the country and it's good for the soul or some such shit. I just like, and in the book that they're equal parts. Like that guy's got just as big a part. In the movie, they're like, I guess we gotta keep him in here.
Okay. Because every time they would cut back to that, I'm like, guys, I'm having enough trouble staying awake through this movie. You're really gonna cut to this lame subplot that I don't give 2 shits about?
Yeah. The main story here is the title character Anna Karenina. Played by,
You did it! Hey! So you have to not think about it.
I could do it the whole time. No, it's played by Keira Knightley here, and she's married to a prominent politician played by Jude Law.
Yeah,
and
one of the nicest guys in the world.
That's the thing.
I wouldn't know if I wouldn't say he's the nicest guy in the world, but he's responsible and he's dedicated to his responsibilities.
I'm sorry,
family.
man. With all her shenanigans and how he takes that, he is the nicest guy in the world.
I mean, here's a guy who like keeps giving more chances and like is like so sweet, and she just keeps fucking him over.
I understand the guy's not the most exciting guy in the world.
Sure, he's not very thrilling.
But nevertheless, I don't know if he deserves to be messed over by her as much as he is, because she's putting all up front. You know, I love my husband. I'm dedicated to our son. But then she sees the dashing Count Vronsky. Count Kick-Ass.
Yeah, with his ridiculously yellow hair and blue eyes.
And his porno mustache.
It's so exaggerated. He looks like a character from Street Fighter.
Right, yeah.
And I'm sorry, I can't. Every time I hear Count something, I'm expecting a vampire. Yeah. It's
Count
hard to
Docula.
see that. Yeah, Count Vronsky though, all the young ladies love him. He comes in his military uniform and his nice curly locks, and he just turned them down. But
he's ready to fuck when he comes in the room.
Well, plenty of single women are just throwing ass at him.
But they ain't a challenge.
But they're not a challenge enough. No, he has to go and get the married woman, Anna Karenina, and so they start to form this what we're told is this deep love, this relationship that nobody knows about, but no one would understand. And it's only a matter of time, though, that she's beginning to be exiled from society because, well, she screwed over a politician that everybody loves.
Yeah, and she's stupid enough not to realize that she's going to get exiled, which it was hard. It was really hard to like follow this character because I was like, man, is there any point in this movie where they want you to sympathize with her at all? Because she keeps making stupid decisions,
selfish decisions.
Yeah, selfish decisions, stupid decisions. And I mean, I was really struggling with this movie. Besides it looking really pretty,
sure,
I was really struggling, going, man, there's nobody in this movie to like. Sure, Jude Law, I should feel bad for him, but the guy's a fucking moron.
Well, he's not a very, I don't know if he's a moron. He's just not a very well-developed character.
No, not at all.
But like a lot of these, and I find this true so many times with classic literature where it's like, oh, but don't you see what this book is really about? It's like, that's fine. I love it when you can have multiple layers going on. But first, if you're going to tell me a story, it's got to be a story that's entertaining to fucking listen to with characters I can get behind.
Well, I think, I don't, as far as the love story here, I could care less about what's going on because I felt that all the characters here were in any story that we have was just backdrop for this orgy of granted beautiful cinematography, but just overload. And don't get me wrong, it is the most gorgeous film I've seen this year. Hands down. But it is
like it has already. They might as well just give it the Oscar for best set design and best costume.
Exactly. No,
just give it to.
I personally have not seen anything more beautiful than this movie as far as just creative, gorgeous cinematography goes. But there's a lot of tone that's not even in this movie. It's the tone that they set up for the story. It's the tone they set up with the actual artistic approach that they've taken to the cinematography. The movie opens up really comedically, and you say there's nobody really to like. There's certain characters I like because they make me laugh, but they're not really characters, and they actually created this atmosphere that doesn't fit within the movie. Matthew McFadden, who plays Oblonsky,
he's the mustache guy?
He's the mustache guy.
Yeah.
The movie opens up very whimsical. It's almost a comedy.
I know. I was thinking like, wow, are they going to sing? Is it going to be another Moulin Rouge? Or Topsy-Turvy?
It felt like Moulin Rouge because once you get from this part where it seems like, because there's a lot of choreography going on, a lot of choreography that's almost dance, but it's dance to create atmosphere.
But there even is dance.
But then there is dance. But see, it's all set up. They do all this stuff that's set up within the world of this theater. Every time they do something, they create a different prop to show you a different part or a section of the city or a building that they're in. Like if they go from a home to a restaurant, the set changes around to represent that, but you're still within the theater. Then they go from a restaurant to a train station. They bring in a big train, but then somewhere in the middle, the movie decides to take you out into actual environments, to to fields and actual cities.
I
don't get that.
It seems like an idea that they didn't really think, oh, what are we going to do when we have to transition to fucking outside? We've been establishing like all these scenes happening in different locations, different places, like a train station. 1 minute you're in a ballroom, the next minute you're in a train station, and you see the set transform into a train station. So it's very awkward when all of a sudden they need to go outside, which they just tear down the set and you're outside in the field, and it leaves you like, what the fuck am I going?
It was almost like somebody said, "Oh, there's the door." I've been waiting to take these cameras outside for so long. Man.
There's that exit sign there.
Like the backdrop fell over and it was just we're outside.
And that's why you feel like it's setting itself up to be a musical, because the fucking sets are dancing around. It's like, well, when are these motherfuckers going to sing already?
Okay. See, I got to say, though, I didn't have the problem with it changing the scenario because I at least in terms of, I saw what they were doing. I mean, they changed it when it was that red-haired guy. Like, whenever he was in it and not in the city, it was all natural. It was all real. There was no artifice at all. Whenever it was about society and the stuff going on, it was always all very artificial. It was inside this theater. It was all props and setup. So it was like balanced in that way, with the exception of a couple scenes where the two lovers are together out in the country, where it was like that. But they even make a point of exactly like really saying, see, this is what we're doing, when later there's a big scene where all the pretty people in society are on a frozen lake, and that's in the middle of the theater. And yet we see that red-haired guy out on a frozen.
The guy you're talking
ground,
about
in
is
the middle of outside.
The character is Constantine Levine, and played by
one of the
Domhnall Gleeson.
Harry Potter's friends.
Yeah, Domhnall Gleeson. It looked like he was on his way to Hogwarts, didn't it?
Yeah. The red-haired guy.
It was one of Ron Weasley's brothers.
Yeah, one of the ones we never saw.
No, Domhnall Gleeson is the actor that plays him in, and
we never saw.
No, Domhnall Gleeson is the actor that plays him in, and I thought that character, they were taking you. There was a moment where I said, okay, maybe this is the theater is an allegory for high society. The real world is taking you. They want to show you the real world because they want to take the take the luster off of everything and show you what this guy's story is, which is not as glamorous as
or more
Anna Karenina's.
There was an honesty to his world.
Oh, that's
and
exactly
there was a dishonesty to the.
But they don't hold to that though.
No, they show you so little.
They totally did though. I mean, I felt like they definitely did. It was only when it was stuff with just the two lovers that it would show them in a realistic format, like to try and show there was a purity when it was just them.
Are you talking about with Anna Karenina?
Yeah,
they were out in fields and stuff too.
Well, I think you related to his character more because it's something that we've all gone through at some point. We've all gone through some point of rejection where Anna Karenina, this whole world, she gets what she fucking wants. She fucks over who she wants. It's like who identifies with that character? Sure, you're somewhat identifying with him, but the problem with the movie was that they focus on him at the beginning, and then it's like the movie forgets about him because you know what? He's not all that interesting.
Right.
He ain't fucking over nobody. So you know what? Who cares?
You will say my concern is unnecessary and ridiculous. You are my wife. I'm wrong to think that. Yes. Perhaps I was mistaken.
No. You were not mistaken. I love him. I am his mistress.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe he meant a lot more in the book, but here the movie feels like almost loath to bring him up.
He's a straight drama, and she's a reality show. And the people on reality shows, they just act out. They act like children.
Exactly.
And so they get the most screen time. And that's what was happening with her.
The star of this film is director Joe Wright, who always does really amazing visual stuff. He did Atonement and Hannah, two of my favorite movies from the last several years. And I felt like in terms of what he's doing visually, this is groundbreaking stuff. I love watching them put together these scenes and sequences where they go from set to set as people are dropping them in like sets on a stage, an old-fashioned stage. I thought it was brilliant and had to be astonishingly difficult to do. I mean, there's no way that was cheap. I'll tell you that.
You know what? I agree with you.
I mean, I thought it was beautiful. I thought the score was beautiful. I thought there was all the technical aspects were perfect. They nailed it. If only I gave a shit about these characters in the story there.
Yeah, like everything you're saying, like those are all great positives. But there just came a point when, even as great as those things were, maybe about 40 minutes in, I saw the show. And so they weren't affecting me anymore. It's like, okay, it was just in the backdrop. Let me focus on what I'm supposed to be here for. And I'm just going wow, I know it's a lot of it is his character, but I think I just don't like Keira Knightley. It's not like I think she's a bad actress.
What's she do to you?
But it's just saying, it's got me to where I'm just like, it let my mind wander. And I was like, I don't think I really have felt sympathy for her in any movie since Bend It Like Beckham. It's something about the way she juts her jaw and wrinkles her nose and her eyes, but her character is always one, or at least the way she plays them. I'm just like, yeah, okay, I don't care what happens.
I was really trying to think the last good Keira Knightley movie I've seen. I couldn't really pinpoint anything, even though in this movie I think she acted her ass off. It's just that she was working with a character that was just unlikable. I mean, I think even in interviews, she's like, "No, this girl's a bitch. She's a slut." You could tell she just doesn't like that character that she's playing.
That they wanted us to come out of this movie feeling sorry for her. There's no way. I mean, I'm sure that was never the point of this, but it also makes it like, so how am I supposed to be enjoying this? I personally think she was great in this. I thought Jude Law was great in this. I thought the mustache guy, whatever his name was.
Matthew McFadden.
That guy's a breakout supporting role, I thought. I was like, wow, that guy's really good.
That guy's been a lot of things.
Kick-Ass sucked. He was like,
he was really wooden. I was like, wow, it'd be different if he had a charisma, but all he's got is that blonde hair and that mustache. I
thought that's who you were talking about.
Shiny buttons. Knuckles.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the guy who was the brother of
yeah.
he's the brother of Anna Karenina, right?
Yeah,
Karenina.
I think so. Yeah.
that-
But you know,
that
he's
Constantine.
another character where I really enjoyed him. Yet the script, I don't know if he's really involved in the story all that much, but you know, when the movie loses him because he's obviously not the focus, you know, the fun aspect of the movie is gone for me. I mean, sure, like you all said, it looks beautiful, but you know what? It looks beautiful when you're in the theater. When you walk out the fucking door of the theater, you won't think about it ever again. And I think that's going to be the drawback to this movie, where people are going to say, yeah, it's great, but it's not a memorable film.
I don't think it's. See, I disagree. I think it's very memorable, just not for every reason. And because I mean, everything is great except, like I said, for the story, which I just felt like I didn't really hate the characters. I just wasn't interested in them. Even though I'm like you, I found all these performances great except for. Except for Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, and I again blame it more on writing, because I seen that, we were just talking about that guy. I saw him in that movie Nowhere Boy, where I thought he was very good.
Yeah,
Keira Knightley I thought was amazing in this. I don't really even think she's a slut. I was kind of intrigued by her character for a while. The movie just went on too long, because it's not necessarily a slut she is, but it's a woman who goes around handing out advice to people, and then she becomes tested to her own advice, and then we get to see how selfish she is. She's just a selfish person.
Yeah. I think what really broke it for me with her, with the point where Jude Law's kind of like, well, can't we try to work it? I can't stand the way you crack your knuckles. I'm like, wow.
Damn.
Well, fuck you.
No
Well,
matter how
there's so
beautiful
much.
she is, somebody somewhere is sick and tired of her cracking her knuckles.
There's so much more that goes on though in that relationship, to where, you know, at least for today's audience, I can't see anybody like just sitting there going, oh, I understand where she's coming from, because you just don't. I mean, there's so many scenes that she shits on this guy. I mean, where he does things that you think, all right, yeah, he's made his testament, his statement, going, this is not right, and then he does something stupid, and you're just like, man, you know what? Can we move on? Can we turn this shit off?
Honestly, I felt like he was the one character I liked, because I felt like the whole time he was he was in that state of like, I really love this girl, but I know I'm too old for her, and I should turn her out and just go screw her, but it would destroy her, and I don't want to do that.
Well, you know what? One of the central flaws with all this stuff going on here is that they never sell us on the power of the attraction between these two characters,
Right.
Count Kick-Ass
True.
and Anna.
You just gonna call this guy Count Kick-Ass, aren't you?
I'm sorry.
That's the best way to do it in my book.
I'm gonna name him Kick-Ass. I'm gonna
and
name him
yet
Kick-Ass.
The film itself visually tries to give it to you, like in a beautifully made sequence where they're at a dance and everybody, this amazing choreography where people
Right.
are frozen in time, but as they move by, they're animated into life. I mean, it's gorgeous to watch. And yet all I remember from that scene is how they put it together, like visually. I never was left with any impact emotionally, or where these characters are saying like, so what is it exactly that makes them abandon all sense for each other? Because I just that part didn't translate at all. And the movie never bothers to try and explain it anymore.
I need something to hold my interest in this movie, because I'm getting more frustrated and pissed off sitting here watching this shit.
Really, this movie pissed.
It really fucking did. It made me mad. I mean, I don't know. The point of the story, I was really trying to grasp, but I don't know. Maybe there's something more in the book that they just couldn't translate to the screen, because they were thinking too much about making everything gorgeous.
That's just, and you. I think you said it right there. I think that this is a deeper book. This is more of an artistic approach to a very dense book, and they made something very pretty. I guess I was upset. I enjoyed it up until, hey man, you can ride a roller coaster for so long before you even get bored of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I was enjoying watching it. I enjoyed everything you said, Cyrus. I enjoyed the score, and I was mesmerized by the visuals up until it just didn't hold my attention anymore. And that was about an hour and a half in. Movie's 30 minutes too long for me, and I can't say that I wouldn't recommend this for anybody, because I think that there's a lot of people, almost the same people that enjoyed Moulin Rouge, are going to come out and say this is very theatrical.
I thought the same thing, except Cyrus is the biggest fan of Moulin Rouge in
I
the
am,
world.
and it's the simplicity of the Moulin Rouge story, of just the simplicity of the oldest love story in the world, the tragic love story, that is part of why it works in that context.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Here it's this thing where I'm like, I don't give a fuck about these people. But I see what you're saying. I actually thought something similar when I was watching this, in terms of like, I mean, it certainly affected me on a visceral way for that, where I was like, damn, this is like really gorgeous. I mean, like so inventive but like I said, I mean, you guys in Moulin Rouge, you're like, fuck those people. I'd feel that way. Here, I'm like, fuck those people.
Can I get my rating?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you cannot. You must continue for another 30 minutes.
Much like the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So the people can know how I feel. No. I think Joe Wright is an amazing director, and I think that what he did here, I don't know the guy. Why am I even trying to second guess what he was thinking?
My buddy Joe.
I get the feeling that he achieved here a lot of what he was going for. That it just felt like an abridged version of a relationship that is what he was going for. That it just felt like an abridged version of a relationship that a special relationship that was supposed to get you emotionally involved that didn't do it. But I enjoyed it. I did. I would give it a high matinee. I can't put the praise on it that I see a lot of critics doing. I just don't see it. I think the beauty of it is kind of making people get past the point that there's not a very strong story there. But if that doesn't matter, some people are totally visual, and I don't think this movie underdelivers in anything artistic at all. I think it's gorgeous. I love it for every other reason than that story. So high matinee.
I think if you're a fan of Anna Karenina, the book, if you're somebody who's read it and loved it, this probably be a great movie for you because you already have all the blanks filled in. All the cracks are filled in, and this will just be that visual companion. And you probably couldn't ask for a better visual companion for that. If you haven't read it, and this is new to you, at least for me, I found it so not entertaining. I mean, it's pretty to look at, but I work with visuals all day, and there's just a point where maybe an hour in, I just stopped being impressed with it, and I'm kind of like, wow, I'm still going to sit through another hour of this with a bunch of characters I don't like or care for, and a story that's kind of like, God, guys, is there some way we can move this along? Only to come to a conclusion where it's like, well, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I would never enjoy watching this again, but I recognize the artistic merit of it. So for me, it's a rental.
Okay.
It's like thinking about the story. I mean, we've all been very clear, even a bit hyperbolic about how much we didn't enjoy that. But you said it well. You said, well, I haven't read it. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot more. Maybe this would have I would have filled in the gaps and enjoyed it more if I understood the book. I never read it either. In fact, if I was to make an anti-resume, at the top of my list of non-achievements would be experience in Russian literature, because I don't have any. But that being said, even with still feeling like a general sense of disdain towards the story, there was lots of characters I enjoyed watching it, who I thought did a really good job. Even, like I said, Keira Knightley, who ultimately you're just like want to strangle her. It's not the actress I want to strangle, it's the character, and I thought she does a wonderful job in it. And to say that it's pretty is a massive understatement. It's hauntingly gorgeous the way that they put this film together.
That shit comes in the middle of the night saying, "Moo, seriously, I'm pretty."
It's like, come on, I'm gonna show you Christmas.
I'm pretty.
It's pretty like RuPaul.
I don't know about that one.
She's haunting.
We should talk later. But I mean, it was so much so that I will probably go back and rewatch this. If nothing else, just admiring the technique that went into it. Joe Wright is one of my favorite directors working today. This is sadly one of his weakest films in terms of story content, but I'm still going to give it a high matinee like you. You should see it in the theater just for how beautiful it is, but don't be expecting,
rainbows.
Hey, man.
No double rainbows.
I agree 100%.
Right on, Corey.
Well,
here we go.
I love the way you start out to
while you two are sucking each other's dicks.
Yeah.
Hey, co-host is going to deliver the real news.
I love seeing fish look at hooks and get mesmerized, and then get pulled out of the water. And, it's me going, "You dummy!"
It's a deer in headlights.
I've seen some pretty bait before on some fish hooks, man.
Well, hey, Keira
What was her name?
It's something pretty to snatch onto. But man, Rushy, you make some real shitty love stories, and this one takes the cake. So,
did you say Rashid? Who's
Russia?
Russia.
Don't fall in love in Russia.
No, don't do that. I could not stand this fucking movie. Sure, it was fucking pretty, but so the fuck what? I mean, at the end of the day, you want to choke the shit out of Keira Knightley's character, but unfortunately, in order to do that, you have to choke Keira Knightley. So it's not all her fault, but she has to pay. It is one of those movies that just got wrapped up in too much of his bullshit. It was jerking itself off too much and forgot about why it was jerking off in the first place. Because it's a story that, you know, so many
my
people
dick in my
love.
hand right now.
It's a story that apparently a lot of people love and admire because this movie's been shot like multiple times. I mean, this is not the first movie out of the gate for this book.
Yeah, it's been several movies.
Oh, there's been
10 different adaptations.
It's a comic book.
Yeah,
I actually played the video game. It's all right.
It was on. Yeah, it was on the original Nintendo. Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just came out for the Wii.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, there was just nothing for me to grasp onto. There's too many things I hated about it. And I didn't understand why I should care about this story. You know, if I want to see assholes be assholes, I'll watch reality shows. I'll watch Jersey Shore.
You go and do a movie review with
I'll do
people
a movie
in
review
this
with
room.
you guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, if you like pretty things, sure, it's Christmas time. Go look at the pretty lights and have a good time in the theater with your popcorn. But for me, it's pretty when I'm in there. But when I'm walking the fuck out, I don't care. I'm mad, but I will give it credit. The acting was really good. It was top notch. Yet, too bad I didn't really grasp onto nothing. So it's a rental. It is a rental. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, why don't you help me get to your bullshit? But but you fooled me right there.
I see a little,
It's a kernel there.
You said
a little kernel in the kernel in the shit. Yeah.
What you're saying is you see a little glitter that caught your eye.
A little bit there.
A little spark. Yeah,
just a little bit.
I don't want to be that guy either that complains about this. And I know you already.
I feel sorry for that guy because nobody wants to be that guy.
Yeah, who that guy, man? You know that guy. But and I'm not going to be that guy. But
says I'm going to be that guy.
I'm going to be his.
But if I was that guy, I would say
I'm going to be his.
Tell me so?
No. I'm going to be his distant cousin. I'm going to be his stepbrother.
He'll be the representation holding the flag of that.
Today, the part of that guy will be played by Corey Coleman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This movie does something that kind of annoys me sometimes, and they consciously made this an all British cast to portray a Russian story, and it still feels like they're doing that. We need British people to make our stuff seem important,
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, well, it's a foreign accent. We don't want to have everybody speaking with a foreign accent. But British is kind of like interchangeable.
Yeah, British is like the universal constant for they ain't speaking English.
Right.
Yeah. So, and because if they all walked in there with Boston accent, you'd be like, what the fuck?
I mean, could we all admit Russian is a pretty nasty sounding fucking, it doesn't sound good. I'm sorry.
Great. Co-started the next Cold War. Thanks a lot.
Like a bunch of assholes talking.
But honestly, if you were to say like, hey, why don't they get some Russian actors in there, you'd be like, well, who would that be?
Exactly?
Mila Jovovich. Like we can pry her away from fighting zombies and bullshit.
We got her and the bad guy from Taken 2.
Oh yeah, that guy. Just get that guy to play every role in the movie.
Dolph Lundgren.
I don't think any of those people are actually Russian.
Sensual desire indulged for its own sake is the misuse of something sacred.
The man who can't govern his wife's gone as far as he can go in government.
Anna isn't a criminal, but she broke the rules.
Leave my life.
She'll be ruined.
Do you think I would let you have my son? You are depraved. A woman without honor. And this is what you want. Do you know what you want?